Hi friends, this is Chandrashekhar. This time we will be talking on 11th Bhava. The Bhava that I said in the last lecture would be of interest to everybody because it represents profits, the income, and these are things which are of prime importance in today's world where aspirations are more and value of rupee or the currency is dropping day by day. There are few jobs, and so income is something which interests everybody, naturally so. Now, as we have seen that we generally start with looking at what part of the body, that is what limb, is represented by a particular bhava, and that is in the system of Kalapurusha, where we know that time personified is mapped onto the human body. So 11th bhava represents leg of the Kalapurusha. However, also understand it also represents the left ear of the Jātaka. Then it also has to do with hearing. As a matter of fact, one of the shlokas says that if there are good aspects of the third or the 11th bhava, then the person will get to hear good things. And good things in ancient times were always religious things, but anything which imparts knowledge was in a part of the religious teachings or scriptures of Hindus. So that you can consider. Then we have to understand that it also represents a friend and the elder brother. Elder brother is easy to understand because since third house counted in the regular direction is the brothers or the siblings and the immediately next younger sibling of the Jātaka. Obviously, the earlier one, three houses going in the reverse direction instead of the regular direction that we go. I am not saying clockwise or anti-clockwise because that differs from South Indian to North Indian charts, so there should not be any confusion. And therefore, the elder sibling or elder brother, as we always call it, Sanskrit is more or less gender neutral in these matters. And so this is elder brother is understood via friend because primarily in Hindu sciences or way relations were understood was that the elder brother is supposed to protect the younger brother, that is the Jātaka, and a friend is also one who protects the Jātaka like the elder brother, not the deceiving friends or the casual friends of these days that we generally see, but yeah, the 11th is friend because of that reason. It is also obviously son-in-law or daughter-in-law of the first progeny, being 7th from the 5th house. It is also representative of the immediately younger sibling of father of the Jātaka, and so on. Another thing which must be remembered that this is one of the three Shadaya Bhavas. So, three Shadaya literally means 3, 6, Shada means 6, 3 means 3, and Aya, that is the 11th Bhava. Okay, so these are, it is also Upachaya Bhava, the Bhava of growth. Obviously, income can grow. It can grow in positive direction, it can also grow in negative direction, which must always be remembered whenever we say Upachaya. So that growth can be positive or negative. Fine, having understood this, we also have to understand that it is 6th Bhava from the 6th Bhava. That is, it is a secondary Bhava principle we are applying here, of diseases, which should never be forgotten. Many a times we tend to attribute diseases either to 6th Bhava, which are the diseases that are partially contributed to by action of the Jātaka himself, and the 8th Bhava, the diseases or whatever negative or structural problems which are more or less inherited, or rather which are part of the constitution and which one has, and then they have only to be, you can overcome them by proper attention, proper treatment at the right time and taking proper care, but they cannot be wiped off sort of. So having understood this, now we look at what is this I or what is this profit? Now this is profit of what? Remember, 11th is second bhava to the 10th bhava. Now second bhava, as we have seen earlier, is the bhava of wealth, the accumulated wealth of what? Of the Jataka. Now here it is second from the 10th. So this is generally, this relates to the earnings of from the career or the job or work or whatever the business that a person is doing. This is primarily that bhava, but it is not limited only to that. Some astrologers are of the opinion that even vehicles and ornaments can be seen by the 11th bhava. To my way of thinking, even those will be connected with work. However, that is a matter which the learned should decide for themselves after going through a number of charts and finding out what happens. So 11th bhava being bhava of uh, income, it is obvious that the next question is whether this person will have enough income, is a question which an astrologer is always asked, and will he have sufficient income? Now, we have to understand that when there is income, there is also expenditure. That is one, that is the bhava about which we will be talking in the next lecture, which is the 12th bhava. So, a tip for astrologers is look at the second bhava of accumulated wealth, look at the 11th bhava of income or profits, depending on whether you are in business or you are in service, it will be income or profit or whatever, and then find out what is the damage to the 12th bhava, because 12th is the expenditure. Now, if this damage is more than the good part or strength of the second and 11th bhava, obviously this person will sometime or other land in heavy debts. He may not be able to repay them. Why? Because it is like that, when we were young, we were given mathematical example to solve where a tap of 2 inches dia used to, pour water into a tank, and the tank had a tap down below which was also open, and it had a 3 inches tap. So obviously whatever water comes in would never stop in that tank, because more is going out. But if it is the other way around, naturally the tank will fill up, and that person will always have money to spare and to take care of even the loans that if he needs to take them, whether he will be able to get rid of them. So that this part we will talk in the 12th bhava lecture. And also remember that a thing which is generally not understood or many a times forgotten is that 11th bhava also is representative or indicator of hearing, the capacity of hearing. The how much you can hear, or whether there will be some problem in your ability to hear, listen, is also indicated by the 11th bhava. That of course is bhava of legacy of mother, being heirs from the fourth is mother. And this important bhava, another thing which must be remembered before I would perhaps come to the end of the lecture, is that there is a saying, labhe sarvagraha prashastaha, which means all planets are good in the 11th house. Now this is always something which has to be understood in the right perspective. Why they are good in the 11th bhava is all those planets occupying the 11th bhava are indicator of the route by which a person may earn. So suppose like Jupiter is there, he might be earning through teaching, or more particularly consultancy or banking services, or he could be a very good consultant. And as you can see that Jupiter from there will be aspecting the 5th bhava of Shishya, one who seeks knowledge from this Jātaka, and naturally he will be able to impart good knowledge to that person. So having understood that, then we go to the next part. Is if it is Saturn, the income could be through speculations, because Saturn is speculator. We will talk about it when we go to the lectures on individual grahas, and so on and so forth. Mercury can give trading abilities, and so on and so forth. However, one must remember that it doesn't make that planet itself benefic or malefic or whatever just by occupation of that Bhava. If he is a natural malefic, he will give malefic effects maybe to the elder brother. If there is something like Mars, then maybe that Jataka might not have an elder brother or might have a sister. Because many a times when Mars or Sun come in, they eliminate the male and bring in the female or Ketu, for example, or he may not have anybody, any elder sibling at all. So Mars being good in 11th is connected to his ability to give money through his ways. Whatever Mars represents, could be surgery, could be engineering, could be anything to do with machinery, and so on and so forth. But that doesn't change his nature, because many a times this mistake is made by astrologers, because that is a well-known saying that if all planets are good in 11th house, then why should they harm? No, it's not so. Their being good is because they bring in money through whatever they represent. That is the source or the roots that the money will come to this person. To that extent only we should understand. Another thing which is very important about 11th Bhava is it also indicates that Jātaka being able to make use of his acquired knowledge. So, because see, 11th and 5th are exactly opposite each other. They are 7 Bhava from each other, which makes them a pair. And where that 5th Bhava we have seen is acquired knowledge, higher knowledge, the lessons that life teaches you, and so on and so forth. Whatever that you do, knowledge that you acquire voluntarily, all this is represented by the 5th Bhava. So this 5th Bhava's knowledge can be utilized at the 11th for earning something, good, bad, ugly, whatever. I mean, depending on the 5th Bhava strength. But you have to understand, so 5th Bhava can also give income through knowledge of that person. That knowledge might be or might not be something to do with the minimum qualification that is required to have a career in that Jataka's country and in the times that he is living in. This always must be remembered. In astrology, whenever we say something, it has something else which will modify the results, and nothing is in isolation, because we have got 9 planets, we have got 12 Bhava, and we have got 12 Rashis, plus their strength in Namash and so on and so forth. However, generally this is what happens, and so I think we are running out of time. The lecture should not be very long. One of my media friends used to say, and I will abide by him, because attention span many a times doesn't exceed beyond 5 minutes, and I am running into 13 or 14 minutes now. So my dear friend, see you, and do go on giving me your comments and your suggestions as to what next lecture should be after, because after the next lecture 12 Bhavas will be over, and I would perhaps go into Grahas, individual Grahas and their nature and how I look at them, and the way in which if we look at them we can understand what is likely to happen. But you do give your suggestions, I would appreciate it very much. And till the next lecture, Chandrashekhar here, signing off and expecting your cooperation and love always.